This podcast is brought to you by Audible.com, the internet's leading provider of audiobooks with more than 100,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature, including fiction, nonfiction, and periodicals. For a free audiobook of your choice, go to audiblepodcast.com/roosterteeth.
Take me to your drunk tank, baby, just for a while. You make me dizzy, you make me smile. I'm so intoxicated with you, can't you see? Baby, you've got the key. Put me in your drunk tank.
It's a podcast.
That was the best intro yet. Who was
Some
that?
are, like, suspiciously good, aren't they? It's like, that's almost too good.
What do you mean by suspiciously good?
Like,
They
is that
hired
just
someone.
another
That's
song?
what he's saying.
Looking at you
I
been
know.
ripped off.
Listen, I'm all about that. If they want to hire somebody to make it, that's great.
Yeah, we won't hire anyone to make a theme song.
No.
We'll let them do it. That was Elnea on the website.
That's Elnea?
Yep.
Really? So Elnea is a user on our site who also happens to be a neurosurgeon, I want to say? Or what does she do?
Uh-huh.
No, she's a doctor of
She's
some kind.
sawbones.
She saw bones. I think she works on eyes or something.
Yeah, I think it's eyes.
Well, how's
Yeah.
that a neurosurgeon?
Neurosurgeon?
I don't know what.
Brain
I-
surgery.
The eyes are right next to the brain.
yeah, they're the gateway to the brain.
Yeah.
Just take one out and you're right in.
That's
No
exactly
problem.
right. You know,
It's like the doorknob to the brain.
that's like day one of neurosurgery. They teach you how to pop out the eyes, so you can access there.
Insert finger here.
God, I just had a flashback to when I was a kid. Gus, did you ever have to help your dad work on a car when you were a kid?
Yes.
And your job when you're a kid and you're helping your dad work on a car is you hold the light. You are a flexible, movable light stand, essentially.
Or your footstool.
Or the hand me this, hand me that. That's not a fucking crescent wrench.
God.
Where's the boot's head?
It's like I don't know why I was asked to help when my job was normally to stay the fuck out of the way. It's like I can stay the fuck out of the way in the house. Why do I need to be out here staying out of the way?
Because misery loves company.
God damn.
When somebody's underneath a car, they want you to hold the goddamn light. Not on my face! Not on my face!
You were trying to do something fancy, like move the light around a lot, or like you get like as a kid you get bored, you start fidgeting. And
Oh
it's
my
just like,
God.
Shadow puppets on top of the radiator.
Dude, fucking worse. As a kid, you get so phenomenally bored.
Should we say who's in this podcast? There's 5 of us today.
There are 5 people in the podcast.
Your name is...
Hello, I am Bernie Burns.
I am Gavin.
I'm Gus.
Michael?
And I'm Lindsay.
Make sure you get right up on that microphone.
Lindsay.
Now, Lindsay,
That is my name.
Lindsay edits. You've never appeared on the podcast before,
I've
correct?
not? Nope.
Lindsay, and you've worked with us for about, 6 months?
Yeah, I started working here not as an intern in September, but I began my internship in August. So
In August, and then started. So you had a 1-month internship, it sounds like.
You know, the first time I saw Lindsay here at the office, I think I had been out of the office. I think I was working on a commercial. And I came back to the office, and I walked in one morning, and she was sitting at Jack's computer. I had no idea who the fuck she was.
Uh-huh.
And I think for like the first 2 weeks she was here, I avoided her because I'd never been introduced to her and I didn't know her. And I wasn't sure, like the first day I wasn't sure if she was like some weirdo who was just in the office, like if she was visiting someone or if she worked here. And then it got to the point where it was awkward, so I would just avoid her. Like if I saw her walking around, I wouldn't get up. And I'd wait till like she cleared the hall, and then I'd get up and go to the bathroom or do whatever I needed to do. Because it just became like this awkward situation. I had no idea who she was, and I refused to ask.
Gus thought it was Jack with the sex change. That's actually what happened. He's still not quite convinced. It's okay. I'm Lindsay, not Jack.
Have you ever
It's
seen
all
us
right.
standing together? Because I haven't.
Getting rid of the beard was the hard part. Listen, I didn't know you
And
had...
the extra 250 pounds.
I didn't know you had that much power, Lindsay. I would have put that to good use. I would have put you outside my door so that Gus would have been
Hello.
trapped. And like Gus would have just like snuck by.
I'm like the
Sneakily
bouncer to Bernie's office.
I love the idea of you actually waiting for Lindsay to leave.
Yeah, I was like, who is that?
What was it? You were like socially uncomfortable?
No, I hadn't been introduced. I didn't know who she was.
Was I that scary?
Only there was a solution
You stick
for
to
that
yourself.
problem.
You don't talk to people.
Yeah,
That's
like-
how this company works.
It was-
If people talk at you, you say yes, 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 and you wait till they go away. You go to your corner and you work.
Yeah, it was.
Don't go fucking finding people to introduce yourself to. Why would you do that? It's bad enough when people introduce people to you.
Michael, you talk to more people than anyone. In
Yeah,
this
but I
company.
don't want to.
But you walk around the place talking to people.
That's people I already know. I don't go, I need to fucking meet somebody new today. I need to find a new friend. That would be Gus.
I agree.
Gus is like, who's that? I'm going to go meet him and get up and run out there. It's like, oh, fuck that. You shut the door.
I'm glad someone's on the same page as me here.
Dude, Gus
I
is
do that
weird
with
like that.
everybody.
I once went to Sonic with Gus, and we were, it was you know, Sonic has those really like loads of drive-through lanes, right? In a line. So Gus like is about to pull up to one, and some dude in a truck like comes right beside Gus, like to the one next to him, and Gus is like, God damn it, and like reverses out and drives to the very far end. And I was like, why'd you do that? And he's like, I don't want that guy to hear my order.
Are you serious?
I don't know what it was. I just don't like. Are you okay? I hate being next to someone at Sonic. If I ever go to a Sonic, I have to park the furthest away possible.
I find the
from
farthest
everyone.
space.
Why?
I go to the next parking lot sometimes, the parking
Yeah.
lot over, and then I walk over and order, and then go get like
Why
bring my food
not?
away.
You fucking go to the furthest urinal in the bathroom.
That's exactly what
You
I was just
hide
thinking
in a
of.
stall.
Yeah,
Hell
but
yeah.
Who cares if you're ordering a hamburger and fries?
Dude, leave me alone, okay? I want my shit. Fuck off.
Don't
That's
know
all
what
I'm
I'm
I don't
saying.
want them judging me. If I want to get fucking chili and cheese on top of my burger, that's my decision. I don't want some.
Or what
some
if you
person
just
to
want a
truck next to me.
salad? You're like, I just want a salad. You don't
Well,
want people
let's
to
not
know.
go crazy.
Makes no sense
So,
to me.
so why don't you just have confidence in that? Why don't you order your tater tots and your chili and your cheese and just you don't care what the
flight.
other person thinks? Do you
I
ever,
don't know. I don't want to be. I don't want to be near people. I don't want this person.
are you
anywhere in my
okay?
space.
Are you okay with the wait staff, or do you have to talk in code? Like,
No, it's their job, so I feel like it's okay for them.
because they're
Yes.
being paid.
Right.
You don't give like baseball signals for like.
Oh, that'd be sweet. It'd be like a regular, and you just show up, and you just like grab the rim of your baseball hat, scratch your nose,
I just want to say
get a milkshake.
this is beyond antisocial. That is like you shouldn't go to restaurants.
You know, I had a
Good.
problem.
You go to a
last year.
restaurant to eat food, not to talk to people.
He's not talking to people, Michael. He's changing his position so that other people will
No
be
way.
nearby.
Early last year, I had.
I would
like,
live-
I admit that this is. I'll admit to you, was weird. I had a problem early last year, like January and February, where I could not eat in a restaurant if it was loud. Like if I went into a restaurant and it was loud, I would just feel sick and I couldn't eat. I'd be like, I gotta go.
You have issues, man.
No, but what is the loudest restaurant in Austin?
The loudest restaurant in Austin. I don't know. There's
Trudy's
some popular
sometimes.
ones.
Trudy's is crazy on a Friday night.
Have you ever been in one of those restaurants where I don't know what it is? It's like the harmonics in the place. It just seems like it
I know.
amplifies. What are you talking about?
Tacoba on East 6th. They have like cement floor and like this really weird ceiling that just bounces all the audio. Like when you said that.
Right.
Like anyone that's talking, it just like gets amplified back and forth and it like punches you in the fucking face.
Reverberates.
Yeah.
Science term.
There's a place right by us called Galaxy Cafe that's the exact same way.
Yes.
Luckily, it does not get filled up all that often, but when it does, it is maddening.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, it's right by one of the suburban neighborhoods, so there's tons of kids in there all the time, too, yelling and
Yeah.
screaming.
They're amazed at how loud their voice is in
Yeah,
there,
but
so they
wouldn't that,
scream
isn't
even
that
more.
better than a silent restaurant?
No.
No. I would
You're
love
talking to
a
the guy who
silent
would move a car.
So you would
Like if they could build a booth around me, so it looked like I was in my own little mini restaurant.
Yes.
And like I didn't have to look at the server. If there was just like a little hole, they could shove the
What
plate
if,
in.
what if you had like a booth, like a restaurant booth in your office, like
That
in the
would be
corner?
sweet, yeah.
You'd bring back your lunch and then sit in your booth.
close
And
the
it has to have a reserved sign so no one else sits there.
What I'm hearing here is that the restaurant you would like the most would be like a medieval prison restaurant,
Yeah, imagine if I was in prison,
like a dungeon.
but you couldn't see me through the bars.
It's just a wooden door.
Right. Or
It's a
stone.
total door. There's the slot. There's a
Right.
food slot. You're
That
in the
would be-
hole. You're in
that
the
would be
hole,
perfect.
essentially.
Yes.
There's a slot. They throw your slop on the floor. You'll scoop it up off the floor.
Because no one could see me.
No one can
so I
see
don't
you.
care.
You can do whatever you want.
Yes.
God,
I'm with you.
That's really bad. I'm the exact opposite. I like to meet people. You would hate to meet me at a restaurant because I will actually.
Heaven forbid,
Meeting
in that
people.
2 weeks I hadn't met Lindsay, if I had bumped into her in a fucking restaurant, I might have lost it.
Thank God you don't go to Sonic.
I was already on the shit list for checking a bag at the airport on Seattle.
Oh,
that
my
was not
God.
okay.
That's
I'm not
right.
upsetting Gus anymore.
Lindsay came to Child's Play with us, and she checked a bag. She flew with Gus and ended up checking a bag.
I got gypped. That thing was tiny.
What was?
My bag. It was so small. It was a nice little one that could fit under the chair, but they
Oh,
made
so
me
they
check
made
it.
you check it.
Yes. Gus was not very happy with me. The best was when I walked on the plane after I'd had to check it and made eye contact with Gus, and I swear my heart almost broke with how angry he was at me. He was just like,
You ever
I
try
hate
to
you.
you ever try to murder someone with just your
Yeah,
eyes?
that's pretty much what happened. I died that day.
Didn't she fuck something else up? I didn't fly with you guys, did I?
Are you keeping a list?
No, this was
Yeah, remember when she spelled your name wrong several times?
When she first started working here?
Yeah.
Yeah, she spelled my name B-E. Well, it's not really her fault because my name is spelled messed
It's
up.
her fault.
But she just kept doing it over and over
It's her
again.
fault because she did it, and me and Carrie sat her down and laid into her about how fucking stupid. Like, that's the boss. You want to get fucking fired? And she's like, oh, it's just a name. And we're like, it's just a name. Or she said something stupid like Bernie. She's like, oh,
It's like Bernie Mac.
I had a professor named Bernie, and it was spelled that way. I'm like, well, you work for him now? Fix your fucking shit. Check your fucking spelling.
Well, I should-
Next email went out. Your name was still spelled wrong.
I should also point out that Lindsay can be spelled lots of different ways, and I made sure that I spelled Lindsay correctly.
Right, exactly.
Say.
It's called doing the
It's
homework.
courtesy, common
Right.
courtesy.
Common courtesy. You
If only
read over
is your
your
name
emails.
anywhere on the website? Maybe spelled correctly,
It
where she
is.
could have seen it.
I
Maybe you
find
should
it.
put it on there and
I
then
They should
Googled
make
it.
it a little more prominent.
solve the problem next time.
I should do that. I should put it up in the
Have you
title
ever
bar of the
met
homepage.
someone whose name is Gus, spelled with 2 S's?
I can't say that I have. No.
I feel like most of the time I go to a restaurant and I put my name on a list, it's Gus with 2 S's that they write down.
Maybe they think it's your last name.
I don't know. Maybe they know my last name. They're like, oh, it's Gus S.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
There's a weird thing that happens where people will consistently spell something wrong. Like Griff is a great example. A character named Griff. Griff's not a name. I've never met anybody named Griff. I've never heard the name Griff before we started using it for Red vs. Blue. But people always want to spell it with 2 Fs.
I did.
And yeah, they always turn it in with 2 Fs or write an
Why
email.
did you spell it with 1 F?
Just because I made up the name. It's just Griff. It's almost like it's just 4 letters. It seems like that guy would have a 4-letter name. The other thing too is that there's certain names of companies that people will make possessive. I don't know how else to put that. Like there's a drugstore here in America called Eckerd Drugs, but everyone calls it Eckards.
Eckards, yeah.
And they
I mean, it's Eckards Drugs?
yeah, and they make Eckards. Everybody calls it Eckards. And we worked for a company where people would always do that too. It was called Telenetwork. Everyone would call it Telenetworks. I have no idea why. But they would do that. So
Yeah, I don't like that.
there's another one like that too.
Eckards doesn't... Eckards, I just did it. Eckards doesn't exist anymore either, right?
Were they bought by CVS?
Yeah, they're all CVS's now.
God, there's like 4 companies left in America, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do you have
Thank God we're still one of them.
Do you have appetizer as a drink in the US?
Appetizer?
Yeah.
Is that like an
Fuck is
apple
that?
appetizer that's also
Let's get some
drink?
appetizer is real
What?
quick.
Yeah,
Everyone
what?
go around. What is appetizer, Lindsay?
It's definitely an apple-based appetizer of some sort.
No, I think
It doesn't taste good because it's from Britain, just saying.
It's a carbonated green apple drink.
I'm going to say
That's correct.
it is an appetizer as well, and it's sliced oranges
I'm not gonna
because
say
they don't know
anything,
what
'cause you
apples are
already
in
said what
England.
It's a British apple.
Right. So what is an appetizer?
Appetizer is just a drink. It's a sparkling apple drink.
Yeah.
But everyone just calls it appetize, and nobody calls it appetizer. It's kind of weird.
They just cut it off?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like
What's like Coke? People don't usually call it Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but it's written as Coke on the can.
No, it isn't.
now it is. Now it is.
Is it really?
Yeah, they adopted it. In fact, when they made New Coke, that was called Coke.
Is it Coke or like Diet Coke?
But I'm saying
Coke,
that
regular Coke usually still says
No,
Coca-Cola.
I think
But-
it says Coke now.
Does it really? That's terrible.
the
Either way,
product was
it's
called
a-
Coca-Cola, and they adopted the name.
It's a terrible, awful drink.
They had in Houston for a while.
Shocking.
They
It's from
actually
Britain.
had McDonald's in Houston that were called Mickey D's. They actually
Really?
changed
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you remember that? Are you from Houston?
No, I have a friend. My old roommate used to live in Kingwood, which is outside of Houston.
Yeah.
So she was talking to me about that because we always called it Mickey D's, and she was like, "No, it's called Mickey D's there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were. I can remember there were signs that said Mickey D's, and like Kentucky Fried Chicken at one point just became KFC. That's what's on their signs now.
Right.
It's KFC.
Are they switching back to Kentucky Fried Chicken, or are they still just KFC?
There was that internet rumor that they couldn't call it
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore.
Why?
Because it wasn't chicken. It was these formless blobs that were grown in laboratories. It was
They
so
are
stu-
delicious.
It was the stupidest internet urban legend of all time.
Anything goes
Except
on the
it was
internet.
true.
And they had to change the name of the company because legally they weren't allowed to call it chicken anymore.
They had to
Cute.
change the name of crab sticks because there was no crab in them. They just
Go on.
Crab sticks.
seafood
What the
sticks.
fuck is a crab stick?
Really? Are we...
It's sliced oranges.
We talked about that time where Ben didn't know what a lemon was, didn't we?
Yeah,
he didn't know what color a lemon was. Was it a lemon or a lime?
it was a lemon.
Yeah, Jeff was like, Ben, can you go and get us a lemon? And he was like quietly said to me, what colour's a lemon?
Holy shit.
What's it look like?
At least they didn't ask you what color an orange was.
Did you fuck with him and give him like a grapefruit? And be like, "This is it. Get this."
Should have done.
You should go on the internet and check out Lemon Party.
Should have given him a...
That'll look.
Well, you can learn all about lemons.
Can you put lemon party in a link to them? Or is that not?
No, I think we should avoid that one.
I don't think that you can. So I want to talk a little bit about Mickey D's too, because Lindsay and I shared a moment over Mickey D's.
We did.
Did.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But first, this podcast is brought to you by Audible.com, the internet's leading provider of audiobooks, with more than 100,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature and featuring audio versions of many New York Times bestsellers. For our listeners, Audible is offering a free audiobook to give you a chance to try out their service. One audiobook to consider is World War Z. For a free audiobook of your choice, go to audiblepodcast.com/roosterteeth. That's audiblepodcast.com/roosterteeth. So last time we did a spot for Audible, I talked about World War Z, and between that and mentioning the gray once, that's the number one thing that everyone responds to me on, just like out of the blue. All of a sudden, they talk about World War Z, and you started listening to World War
Yeah,
Z. Right?
I think I'm almost done with it. Well, the funny thing is, like you said, they have, I guess, some known names doing voices or reading some portions of the book. And during the Alan Alda section, I
Yeah.
can only imagine Bill Hader on SNL doing his Alan Alda impression.
Wow, really? You know what?
Which is funny. He was like, I can't even picture him anymore. I picture someone else doing an impression of him.
I got really screwed up because the whole time I didn't know the cast list when I was listening to the book, and the whole time I was hearing the Alan Alda parts, I thought it was Richard Dreyfuss the entire time. Does anybody know Richard Dreyfuss anymore?
Yeah.
Come on, Jaws.
There you go.
Jesus.
Hey, take it easy. How do I know that you've seen Jaws? You were born in like 1994. When were you born? What year were you born?
1987.
1987. Okay.
89, baby.
88.
88.
Somebody was. I think it was
You're
Barbara.
fucking old.
You were born 1960. What?
I was born in the 70s. But Barbara was talking about being born in 1989, and she's really proud that she's born in the 80s, that she wasn't born in the 90s, because that would be too young.
Yeah.
That 1 year. Because she was up and fucking active in the
did a lot.
80s. She's like, I remember the 80s, shitting myself, getting changed, bottles.
Jazzercising.
80s was sweet.
I pushed her out of the car after she said that. But she's young. She has flexible bones.
So what's
she was fine.
What's this moment you had at Mickey D's?
So I think it might be a hoax because I went on the McDonald's website.
not a hoax.
I think
Real.
it is.
I hope it's real.
So they have these things.
Wait,
that-
I'm sorry.
they have-
You didn't even know if these were real?
I went to the store to buy some. I went to McDonald's to buy some last night. I did.
Okay.
And they didn't have them. They looked at me like I was a fucking crazy
Wait,
person.
what are you talking about?
What's
So
going on?
I kicked over their mop
Have you
bucket.
said the thing you're talking about yet?
So they have these things at McDonald's they just introduced. They're called... Gavin, do you know what a Shamrock Shake is?
No.
First of all, that's a thing they offer. It's a green milkshake they offer at McDonald's like only around St. Patrick's Day.
This sounds gross.
It's tremendous. Shut up. You're from Britain and
What
you
makes
stink.
it green?
It's fantastic.
It's no
Food
crab
coloring.
stick, but
It's no apple ties, but it's still delicious. Anyway, so they do these like runs at McDonald's occasionally where they have special
You need runs.
products. Like one in particular they have that keeps coming back is the McRib, which is a
Oh, the McRib is back.
pork sandwich that's pressed in the shape of ribs. It's really
So
kind of
there's
gross.
no actual bone.
No, there's no bones in it.
No.
Oh, it's boneless,
No.
baby.
it's molded to look like it has bones.
Yeah.
But it's just pressed meat.
Yep.
And it's awesome.
It's
No.
fucking amazing.
It takes all the hassle out
It's
of it.
incredible.
Let's have a chicken that's actually pork.
Yeah, do it. I'll eat
Can
it.
you squash pork into a roast chicken? And give it
Like,
to someone.
make beef into bacon, that kind of thing.
That's a
Oh.
Shamrock Shake.
Wow, that doesn't actually look that bad.
It's good. No, it's good. I think it's mid-flavor. Anyway, so one of the latest products they have is a thing called chicken bites, which are small. People who can't handle an entire nugget, they give you just a little bite. It's like a
course.
chicken
Too
bite.
much.
Tiny little bite. That's it. So you can eat
Isn't
chicken.
that called popcorn chicken?
That's
Yes.
probably what, yeah, another way to say
Inspired
it.
by popcorn chicken.
Inspired by, right.
Based on a story about popcorn chicken.
But they can't call it.
It does have an asterisk and it says totally not popcorn chicken on the bottom.
It's been adapted from McDonald's.
Yeah.
But Lindsay discovered this thing and she sent it out that they have this thing called fish bites, which are
Hell.
little tiny fish nuggets, which sounds gross, but that's okay
Oh,
because
it sounds amazing.
sounds like the best thing I've ever wanted to eat in my life. So Lindsay was getting abuse on Twitter for posting about these fish bites.
I can take you. Bring it on.
Yeah. She
So,
says
fucking
that
love those
now
things.
on Twitter in the podcast, and afterwards it's like, I can't believe they made fun of me. Where?
so now Lindsay and I are on a quest to find where are these fish bites. And I think she got fooled by Photoshop. And then it
And then
turned
made you
around.
look like an idiot.
No.
Made me
So have you
It was
look
an
like,
Fish
advertisement.
bites?
No, but it was an advertisement next to Pandora because I was listening while I was editing, and that's what popped up. And I said, "Holy shit, this looks amazing!" So
Wow,
I
let's
tweeted
just
it.
go to Pandora to get it.
Yeah, I will.
Fucking go to Avatar.
Listen to stuff while you edit.
Yes.
how, do
What's wrong with you?
how do you do that? Do you really?
She always
Yeah,
does
I
that.
listen
Why do
to
you think the
music.
podcast
Wait,
sucks?
why edit the podcast?
You can see the waveforms, and then when there's like stopping and starting,
So-
like if there's something
Gus,
crazy, I'm
literally,
like,
his
whoa, that's
brain is about to fucking explode right now. So, last week's was the last podcast you ever heard Lindsay edit.
It's at a low level. It's
That's
not like it's
the
drowning
biggest
out.
problem I had while I was editing the podcast was I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't listen to anything else. I just had to listen to the podcast.
So
Well-
she's already fucking
Evolve,
better
Gus.
than you.
Evolve.
Jesus.
Editing audio while
Gus, who's doing the podcast from now on?
So apparently the fish McBites, I'm reading an article here.
fish nut bites.
Fish McBites. That's I want to
Of course,
call them by
gotta
their
put
true
Mick in
name.
there.
Patent pending.
Apparently fish McBites have been introduced to help people get through Lent because they can't eat meat on Friday. So maybe they only offer fish McBites on Friday.
Oh, that makes sense.
Fish McBites was first reported on Tuesday, a day before the start of the Christian season of fasting on Ash Wednesday. It was pictured at a McDonald's branch near Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, which may strengthen the impression that it was aimed at the faithful who have been denied or who have denied themselves the pleasure of meat on Fridays. So somewhere in the world, there is a fish McBite,
As opposed to just getting the fish fillet.
which they now have a
No.
double fish fillet, which is 2 fish fillets
Yes.
on top of each other.
But usually around Lent, they offer like 2 fish fillet sandwiches for cheaper, and you can just buy 2 and then put them together.
Are you Catholic?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to describe
I
for
don't
people
give
who
a
aren't
shit.
Catholic what is it?
No,
For people who don't understand
well,
what it is.
You didn't put in the air quotes that I did when I said yes.
Okay, so
that means my family is, and I don't give a shit.
Lent is the
Why
period.
did you air quote your family? My family.
Well, because I said
Michael was raised by
I'm
wolves.
Catholic, so yeah,
So his family told
yeah,
him
my family.
at their house
Yeah,
where he's safe.
it's true.
Air quotes work really great on the audio podcast.
We should have a code whenever someone does it. A noise should just
No, it's a voice. Like you can tell which word I'm air quoting here. Like Gavin is a very cool guy. See, you can tell which word I did there.
Hey.
It wasn't Gavin. So Lent is the period between Ash Wednesday and Easter, and which most people will recognize when Ash Wednesday is if you're not Catholic by Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is the day before Ash Wednesday.
When are the pancakes?
What?
What?
You're fucking stupid.
Pancakes?
Please enlighten me on what
You
the
are
pancakes
fucking
are.
retarded.
Go on.
There's Shrove Tuesday.
No, maybe we should have Gavin explain.
Yeah.
Please explain to me
is
what
this?
Lent
You talk
is.
about potato pancakes? Is that?
What are you talking about?
Latkes?
Everyone's saying words now.
No. What
You need
pancakes?
to explain what the pancakes are.
You have pancakes. Pancake Day.
Right. And
Right.
When is
Of
Pancake
course
Day?
we do. But explain it for
Tuesday.
people who don't understand
what?
it.
Shrove Tuesday.
Shrove Tuesday. Right. That's when you eat the pancakes.
Yeah.
What kind of pancakes?
Yeah, but why is that not a part of Lent? Doesn't Lent start then?
What is the historical significance of Trove
Seriously, what the fuck are you talking about?
Trove Tuesday when you eat the pancakes?
No, I just thought that's when Lent started.
Lent starts on Ash Wednesday.
I have no idea what the fuck.
Seriously,
any of those
like
things you're talking about
no one
are.
knows any idea what you're talking about.
What
Oh,
is-
Are you looking up Trove Tuesday?
No, I'm
What the fuck is
I don't know
this?
what that means. Did you just make that up?
Shrove Tuesday is a real thing.
It-
Look it up.
What is it for? What? What is it? What does it stand for?
Let's all stay calm.
No, I told you I was gonna yell beforehand.
We're all friends.
It's like you go to IHOP the day before.
First
Lent
of all,
starts and-
first of all,
What the
it's
fuck?
Shrove Tuesday.
That's what I said.
You said Trove.
You
No,
said-
I said Shrove Tuesday.
You did not say Shrove.
All right, listen to this. Listen to this.
great.
Shrove Tuesday, also known as Pancake Tuesday.
What?
I've
is
never heard of
wrong
this.
with you?
Is the day preceding Ash Wednesday the first day of Lent?
Okay.
So it's after anyway.
Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Tuesday, in air quotes, is observed mainly in English-speaking countries. Oh,
What-
why do they
we
celebrate it in the
speak
UK?
English.
Super English, I
I
guess.
tell you what, you guys are missing out.
Never fucking heard
So
of that.
what?
in my
what
We have
life.
what-
pancakes
what is-
every day.
What is the tradition? You eat pancakes
You
till
eat pancakes.
and then you go to church.
That's it?
Look, Gav's like,
You want.
church.
I just know it's the day that I eat pancakes.
That's
So,
every morning.
The one day of the year.
Let me tell you what we do the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday in America. We take off our shirts and throw beads at each other and then get really, really drunk.
You take off your shirt and throw beads at Gus.
Pancakes are cool. Pancakes are cool, but Mardi Gras, I think, is a little bit better than Shrove Tuesday.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of Shrove.
See, now the podcast is educational as well.
I
Yeah.
thought that was a Christian thing.
Here's
It's
what's ama-
Catholic sort of thingy.
Like when Jesus ate the pancakes.
And lo,
when
he
Jesus
poured
went
the
to
syrup.
the crowd of people and didn't have enough food for everyone, so he made pancakes.
Like,
Let there be IHOP.
the unknown disciple, Aunt Jemima, who helped give out the pancakes. So I say, if I'm going to stick with one tradition, I'm going to side with Mardi Gras over that. So then we have Ash Wednesday. Between Ash Wednesday and Easter, supposedly on Friday, Christians don't, or Catholics, I guess it's a Catholic thing.
Yeah, just Catholics.
They don't eat meat on Fridays.
It used to be the entire 40 days, but I think the church got soft.
That's,
And then-
as they
and
tend to
then
do.
Then now it's just Friday.
They have to evolve, Gus. And also, you're supposed to give up something for Lent. Did you guys give up anything for Lent? For the hell of it?
Smoking, but that was a coincidence.
I'm not going to celebrate Shrove Tuesday for all of Lent. No pancakes for me.
I gave up answering that question.
You know, actually, you should be very proud, Gavin, because you taught us something that was real.
That actually existed. You made us look stupid.
Yeah. Well, how do you?
I don't know
find
about that.
I feel fine.
How do you
Gus,
feel?
Yeah, I feel
I'm
totally
good.
fine. I think most people will side with us on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably right.
except for people in Ireland, the United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. But, you know, what are
So
you
like
going to do?
100 people.
They can't chase us down because they're filled up with pancakes.
Yeah.
That was just like last week. They had all their pancakes.
So can they not eat pancakes any other time of the year, or is there like some special
Can they
pancake that
only
make
eat
on this
pancakes
day?
that day? Can you eat anything else?
Yeah, sure. If you want, you know, free country. In all English speaking.
This sounds like a great tradition you have here.
Yeah. It's pancake day. I mean, if you want.
Well, everything's if you want. Christmas if you want. You know, you don't have to. It's not like mandatory Christmas.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're Catholic, that's mandatory.
the Brazilians do it way better than we do. They have Carnival.
Yeah.
Oh, Carnival is awesome.
Yeah,
Brazilian Mardi Gras, as I like to call it.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There's a carnival celebration that happens in Austin.
Yeah, at the convention center.
Yeah, you ever been to it?
Yeah, it was very naked in there, and I was like, whoa.
It is a very naked event.
If you ever go to the Statesman, like
First
when
time I met
when
Bernie.
they write their article about it and they post
Oh, yeah.
pictures, they have very select, very cropped pictures that accompany those articles.
So we should go to carnival next year.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
What are you wearing, Bernie?
We can all start bop now. I always wonder where
The
one of
fuck
those.
is that?
I always wonder
What
where.
is pop, pop, pop?
This is me working out. See, this is
He put
this is
his
a barbell.
fist up in the air and went pop, pop, pop.
That's
exactly
the
what I
workout.
did.
It's like air quotes.
Yeah.
Getting ready for carnival for
Speaking
next
of
year.
working out, have you seen Monty's chair where he does his work?
No,
Yeah.
No.
It's a sit-up bench.
a sit-up bench.
Yeah. So while he's rendering, he just does sit-ups.
Is that what he does?
That is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea.
Monty is a.
Or if he's really tired, and they encourage him to like make not very complicated scenes that don't take long to render. He's like, I don't want to do the sit-ups. Let's remove all of these textures. Let's remove this background.
You're not kidding, man. Some of those renders can be like 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's got it down to like 2 minutes.
What was
It's
the-
like, when did we move to stick figures? When did that happen?
Is season 10 going to be like animated adventure style?
No, it'll be like.
I didn't want to do like it just gets worse as time goes on. Like by the end of it, it's just like animated adventure.
Everything's
No, it's
off
just a blank
screen.
white screen.
Yeah.
That's it.
What was that short film about the little animated characters who were like going crazy in the pages of that?
You're
Nobody
so
knows.
good at describing
Oh.
things.
My spoon is too
Yeah, exactly,
big.
that one.
That is
Pretty big.
Dan Hertzfeld. Is that his
I
name?
think that sounds.
Hertz. Let me look it
sounds
up.
good.
That's a name.
My spoon is too big.
Like that's something that they would show like at Spike and Mike's years ago, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, we should know the name of the guy. Like he made Rejected, which is another great one too. I think it actually is the pieces
That's the same
Rejected.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Hands.
And like the page
Rejected
like
Ideas.
tears open. and
Don
stuff.
Hertzfeld.
Don
Don, not Dan. Don Hertzfeld. That's his name.
Was
yeah.
that nominated for something?
Yes.
It was released in 2000. It was, I don't know. There's a link to the Huffington Post. I don't know why about that.
Because the Huffington Post has fucking everything. Like, is there any original content on Huffington Post?
They don't have us.
Or is it just like copy paste from everywhere
They
else
don't
on
have
the
Rooster
internet?
Teeth.
That's not true. They
Podcast.
posted our Siri video on Huffington Post.
Sweet.
See, copy paste.
Okay, I take that back. They have us.
You know, Joel's a pretty conservative guy in general, and I think he was in the screenshot that Huffington Post used. So Joel got to be on the front page of the Huffington Post. I think that was. I think he kind of hid from that a little bit.
There was CNN also did an article or a story about Siri parody videos, and they used some clips from ours.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. I don't think we ever. Talked
Yeah, that
about
was that. That was what's her name? I was just
Jenny
saying
Moo.
Moose, right?
Moose.
It's like the Moose Report. You ever watch her stuff at all?
Just
Oh, it's a play on words.
Why? Just a play
Because
on
it's a
words.
Moose report.
Oh, I get
Like
it.
Moose and news.
Oh.
You know that stuff goes by us. Those stupid.
Did you
pun-
seriously not get that?
No, I seriously
I was
didn't.
being a sarcastic asshole.
I totally didn't see it.
You guys know what we're talking about.
Don't forget that we debated over what Jay or Dan's handle meant,
Yeah.
and his name is Jordan, and we knew his name was Jordan, and we were wondering what Jay or Dan meant. Why would he
All
call
right.
himself?
We're
Jay?
kind of stupid.
Nice.
We missed that
We
stuff.
didn't even know what Strove Tuesday was.
Yeah, well,
Shrove.
Strove Tuesday.
you got Trove Tuesday.
I don't know if you say Jeannie Moose, Jeanne Moose. What's his name? Jean Moose.
Genie?
I don't know.
I dream of Genie.
She was born May
I don't.
19th.
I really don't.
I do every night.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, she does like those like kind of. She's almost like a female Andy Rooney in a way.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure it's exactly what she's going for, but it's that kind of thing. It's like slice of life. Don't you hate when gasoline is 9/10 of a cent?
Don't you hate when Siri tries to kill you?
Don't you hate when Siri tries to kill you? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that's the worst.
So we invited Lindsay to be on the podcast, and we've wanted Lindsay to come on the podcast for a very long time. And Lindsay, I can't tell you how happy I am that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
You too, Michael.
Yeah.
Air quotes. So Michael, for some reason, decides to corner me and like try to negotiate Lindsay's appearance on the podcast. Gus, that
Are you her agent?
Right.
So are we allowed? Are we allowed to talk about the fact that you two are dating?
Be my guest.
Okay, because he was concerned. He was concerned. Also, I said, well, then don't come on the podcast if you don't want to talk about your relationship, your inappropriate business, personal relationship.
You're like talking about fucking fish nuggets over Twitter going out for lunch dates, not me.
I
Check the
also-
employee handbook supervisor.
I also bought her ice cream.
yeah, I know.
Bernie
Exactly.
bought me ice
And,
cream.
Fucking
and our previous
admitted.
experience with Emily has taught us what ice cream means.
Oh, that's true. It wasn't free ice cream though.
Oh, okay, it wasn't free ice cream.
That's a totally different level.
Okay.
And on Twitter, I didn't say, "Hey, what's up?"
It wasn't free ice cream. Did you make her pay for it then?
No, I bought it, which means it wasn't free.
It was free to her.
Yeah, it's free for me.
How's that any different?
No, that's a big deal because the guy from the Alamo stole the fucking ice cream from his business and gave it to Emily. There was no money to exchange
I
hands
see.
for that.
I see.
Yeah.
How do you know? It's
So it was stolen ice cream versus
Paid
purchased
ice
ice
cream,
cream.
yes.
The biggest problem, Gavin, is employee theft. That's the biggest problem. Do you know what we call that in America?
kidnap.
Do you know what we call? Theft by employees in America? It has a great name. There's a business term for it.
Flobberage.
It's called shrinkage. It means, your inventory.
close.
Your inventory is
Flubberage,
shrinking.
you were really close.
Are you serious?
They're next
Yeah.
to each other in the dictionary.
Man, I used to work retail in high school, and they would all these policies these companies have. Did you guys ever work retail in high school? Anybody?
No.
Nope.
I worked at a place at the mall and stuff like that, like a software store. It was now EB Games, but back then it was called Babbage's. And they'd make you take the trash out in a clear bag, and like they'd have to check the trash to make sure you weren't like taking something out with you to throw it away. I guess it is GameStop now because EB Games was bought by GameStop. Did they convert all the EB Games to GameStops?
They didn't convert all of them, but GameStop owns all of them.
Yeah.
What was EB?
Electronics boutique.
It was Electronics Boutique, and then it changed to EB Games.
That became Game in the UK. Just a shop called
Just
Game.
game. They didn't want the stop on there. They just went with game.
Store.
Stuff.
Well, GameStop doesn't make any sense, really.
Nothing makes sense.
Why does it not make sense?
Why would you want to stop?
GameStop.
You're
you
stopping
stop
to buy
get the fucking
games.
game,
Yeah.
asshole.
Buy online.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Get
What
days
does
later.
that-
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
What does
You
that
can
mean?
still buy it online. You're going to GameStop. You're still stopping by the website to get the game. You idiot.
Guess you are. Sure.
Fight.
I'm gonna fucking fight you after the podcast.
He's
I've been trying to-
so mad. He's
I've been
so
trying to get him to
mad.
find me.
True.
Like we went out the other night, Lindsay and Michael and me and
Good.
Barbara, and I was just trying to get him to fight random guys. I was like, that guy's hitting on Lindsay.
A
That guy's
guy
hitting on Lindsay.
did ask me to dance, and Michael almost destroyed him.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
Do you really? What happened? You want to talk about
He
that?
wasn't there when I was there, so
Where were you?
But-
You
I
left
was
your.
getting drinks.
Yeah. And the guy came to ask me to dance. I said, thank you, but no, I'm okay. Slash,
So-
you might die.
Slash, you might die.
But he came and he was in line with us at the next club we went to. So Michael was right behind him, and he kept looking behind us going, oh crap, that's that
Yeah.
girl I
And
just
was
asked
like-
to
I was
dance.
like, there he is. Get him. Get him, Michael.
So you went to go get drinks,
Yep.
and somebody asked your girlfriend to dance, and you would have beat this person up.
I'm not instantly.
What does that mean instantly?
No, I wouldn't have like hit him. I would have told him
Grace
to fuck
period.
off.
You got to wait for the wind up and then the hit. That's why it's not
It
instant.
wouldn't be instant.
No,
There's no
you have to have a verbal altercation first.
Why you would be mad at the guy for asking your girlfriend to dance?
Yes.
Okay. Why? What's your
Even though he
rationale?
didn't know.
Even though he didn't know.
Listen, not my problem. That's your problem, bro. That's how it works in New Jersey. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you didn't know or not. Get the fuck out of here. That's what would have happened.
So you'd be pissed off at the guy. There would be no like, hey, she's with me.
No way.
We're
I
kind of
would give
rational
him.
people.
You know how when you want someone to die from looking at them, he'd get that followed by like, get the fuck out of here.
Really?
That's what he would get.
You worried?
I'm worried.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you left her alone. She could have gone to get drinks with you.
I was pretty attracted to that fat ginger who asked me to dance. That's true.
Listen, don't knock the fat gingers. They make a bigger effort. So where were you during this, Gavin?
I was just right there. I was just
Gavin's
watching
just sitting there watching. Yeah.
That's Gavin's MO.
it. Drinking beer.
Just hang
I
out.
had 2 beers. I don't know why.
You had 2 beers in your hand at the
You
time?
wild
One for
man.
each hand.
So,
we once duct taped 240s to Gavin's hands at a
Edward
party.
40.
Edward
Hands, right?
40 hands? Yeah.
That was a heavy night.
Was it?
so listen, you should take it as a compliment
Mm-hmm.
and not be so upset. Don't worry about it. Because he didn't cause a scene or anything. Did he cause a scene?
I don't know.
Did he
He's-
throw
he
like
was-
a big fat ginger tantrum or
No,
anything
he
like
just
that?
goes, "Oh, your boyfriend's getting you a drink," and I was like,
Right.
"No,
I've
no,
heard
but
this before.
really." And he was like, "Okay, thanks." So yeah, no big.
Fuck, he just called you imaginary. What are you going to do about that?
I know.
No,
I'm
now
not
you're
gonna do
insulting
anything.
me.
I know.
That's why there's verbal altercation and then an instant punch.
Right.
What is the protocol of the dance floor fight? Just break it down for me.
I don't know. It's gotta
There's
happen
the
naturally.
incident, which can be a number of different things.
Right.
Then step 2,
Right.
verbal confrontation.
Correct.
Okay. And what takes how does that escalate into step 3, which is instant death?
Well, it's not instant death.
I guess there's 2 possible options there, right? Like either diffusing the situation or escalating the situation.
Well, I'm not going to diffuse it.
Yeah, I was
There's
like,
no
that's not even an
diffusal.
option with Michael.
He might walk away, and that's fine. I'm not going to chase the guy if he's just like fine.
All right, this is
But
not working. Let's role play. Gus is your girlfriend, okay? I'm a big fat ginger.
It's not that role
Shh,
play.
you're not here. You're getting drinks. Shut up. Okay. So Gus, you're sitting by the dance floor.
Can I be Gavin? Can I please?
Yeah, sit there and do nothing.
I'll sit there and do nothing and drink.
I'll be Barbara.
Okay, so you're at a club and you look great because you wore something nice.
I'm gonna check myself out. Hold on. Nice.
All right.
Do I look down my shirt often? Is that what you're saying? What?
Hey, I'm rolling with it, okay? I'm a method actor.
All right.
Getting inappropriate.
And then I walk up and I say, "Hey, what's up?"
Nothing, tee.
So I figure we're at a dance club and there's music playing, and I don't see you with anybody.
See,
right
at this
now.
point, I would literally walk in between the two of you and just be
You're
like,
getting
this. I would be
drinks.
touching his nose.
I haven't done
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
So how the hell am I supposed to role play if I'm not there?
You're about to show up. I'm gonna give you your
We
cue.
need a cue.
God, learn it.
Go buy a drink, Michael.
Acting coach, really.
I'm not an actor.
Tip
I'm
your
sorry.
server. Tip your server. All right. Hey, do you want to go? Do you want to go dance with me on the dance floor with the music that's playing?
No, I'm waiting for my boyfriend. He's getting me a drink.
All right. Enter Michael.
All right. So now what? I'm walking in and they're standing there.
You have 2 drinks in your hand. I'm assuming you bought her a drink.
Obviously, yes.
Okay.
That's not a safe assumption, but I'm good to
It's a very safe
Well,
assumption.
Gav's obviously rocking 2 drinks.
I walk up. Gav's just hanging out, and Gav's like, "Check this shit out. He's hitting on your girlfriend." That would be the
Oi,
scenario.
this
Did you do that?
on
Did you,
Lindsay.
did you do that?
No, I didn't
Not in
catch
front of
him. But I'm saying that would be the scenario. Then I would enter in between them and just give him a cold stare until he walks
So
away.
give me the cold stare. I'm the guy.
I would do this.
Should we be filming this?
Oh. Michael is standing up from the table to
Should I stand up?
demonstrate.
Well, it's not gonna work because you're.
Now Bernie's standing too. My God.
I would walk in like this.
Okay.
Okay, they're standing face to
I went to
face.
reach for my and I grabbed your crotch. Okay. This is our music.
This is terribly inappropriate.
Every dance club.
That's terribly inappropriate
It looks
What's
like,
that?
It just looks like you're about to
for
look
that
out.
for music. Right. So you stand here, and then
You're
I wait till you leave.
literally like fronting on me.
Yeah.
You're right up in my face.
I know. It's making you uncomfortable.
It does make me
You're gonna,
uncomfortable.
Like,
It's making me uncomfortable.
wanna
over
kiss me.
here.
So I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna say, so is she with you then?
yes.
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't know. I saw her by herself and you
Then
had a
I
great
would,
looking
and then
girl.
I go, "See ya," like an asshole. Like I'd be mad about it.
Uh-huh.
Like, and then you leave.
And I go, what's your problem?
Right.
What is your problem?
Well, you're trying to dance with my girlfriend.
This is what's gonna really
Oh,
serious.
now we're gonna see the real dance.
Can we bring out the employee handbook and see what my retaliation
did.
I can
Yes.
take here is?
I was mad before the podcast started, so it's a bad time for.
So then, if he says to you, I'm not going anywhere, or like, why are you in my face? I just thought your girlfriend was attractive, and I just asked her to dance. Then what do?
Then shit starts.
Then shit starts. What do you do? The
I don't plan it out.
shirt comes
no,
off?
Shirt does not come off.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm
What
a little
is,
disappointed.
this is Jersey style.
Probably
so you tell me.
initially the first step was probably a shove, and then literally the reply to that determines everything that happens next.
So then if you shove, he can either
I shove
back away,
him,
or
he's either
he,
gonna back away
or
or
he
go
comes back at you.
Yes, and then the fight.
And then you
ensues.
dance.
Yes.
Every fight starts with a shove. Every
It has
fight-
to.
nobody
That's my
punches
fair
first.
warning.
It's always like,
Always punch first.
It's
No.
yeah, but nobody does. It's like
I don't
shove,
need to punch first.
The shove
Yeah.
is like the shot across the bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever watch hockey games?
I don't
First
need-
thing,
I don't need
shove,
to punch
take off
first.
gloves, begin fight.
Have you ever been just in the middle of a massive brawl in a club or a bar?
A mosh pit?
Because like
Yes.
what people like to do is like the high school fights too. Is people just shove and they push each other and do that for like 10 minutes.
Push
It's
each
like
other
I'm gonna
against
fight
lockers.
you. I'm gonna fight you. You get one shove. The second the guy comes back, then he gets hit.
Then he gets punched.
Then he gets punched.
So you have no problem throwing the first punch.
As long as I shove, if I push him and it's done, I'm like fuck off, and he comes back. No, I don't care.
You shove and say fuck off.
Yeah,
Fuck off. He takes one step forward.
right. If he comes back towards me, sure.
Then it's a punch.
Yes.
So
Okay.
most girlfriends would be concerned about a guy being all upset that another dude's asking you to dance, but I'm okay with it because I'm the same way with another girl if it was the other situation.
So you're both super
Yeah.
possessive.
Time for
Pretty
more role
much,
play.
yeah.
Time for more role play. Okay, so let's assume you went and got drinks.
All right.
And a girl asked Michael to dance. Let's just assume this happened at some point.
It's never happened before.
Like she's like, I really,
She's blind and has low standards.
yeah,
I love
she's incredibly obese.
white boys with
Imagine
afros.
an ugly Rosie O'Donnell.
Susan
like-
Boyle asks Michael to dance.
I said ugly.
Oh,
Oh,
you,
she is a beautiful
She
woman.
walked up and said, "You like My Little Pony too? What a
Oh,
coincidence!" So I don't. I also like it in a totally non-ironic way. So would you like to dance with me? And you walk up with drinks and you do what?
Well,
Here's what would happen. She'd walk up and be like, excuse
yeah.
me.
First
that's
time
my
is polite.
boyfriend."
I'd be like, "Excuse me, ma'am. I don't know if you realize that's my boyfriend."
There
I
you
just
go.
wanted to let you know. If
Civilized
it-
person.
After that, if it turns into, I'd really like to dance with him or back off, then I'd be like, "Okay, bitch, let's go. All right, now we're gonna do this. I'm a little drunk. Let's do this. Okay? You're gonna talk to me like that? All right."
So his move is the shove. If you come back at me, I'm going to punch you. What's your move? What's your first physical move?
Headbutt.
The Beyonce.
What is it?
what's-
the head cock. She did like the sideways wave. What's up?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a physical fight?
I was an elementary school bully.
Were you
Little known
really?
Fact, yes. I used to beat the crap out of kids, but mostly boys.
Why?
So, because
'Cause they're
I don't
boys.
know.
Tradition continues to this day.
Some of
But
these bullies.
yeah, Bullying's not okay, guys. That's what I've learned as I grew up.
It's one of those things that you don't often realize that bullies do grow up to be regular people, and most
Hopefully.
Or fucking
Regular,
pieces of shit assholes.
quote unquote.
They do both.
I mean, most people. There's more bullied people than bullies, right? Like
Yeah.
I would say so.
yeah.
bullies cast a big net. Like they can get like 5 or 6 people.
You
to
don't
bully
have,
them.
you don't get one personal bully.
That'd be
generally
awful.
speaking.
Yeah, they focus on one person.
Bullies
a
face the same
sitcom.
problem teachers have. It's like they go to their bully union. It's like there's just too many kids in the classes these days. These classes are too crowded. There's 30 kids. I can't bully them all.
We need more punk kids in the class.
Man.
Send me in undercover.
That's
Be
where
like the
I
new
come
fucking
from.
21
Okay, so here's
Jump
what I've
Street.
learned- here's what I've
21
learned on
Rooster
this.
Teeth Street.
Don't ever ask Lindsay to dance.
Correct.
Because Michael might be somewhere around,
Yes.
and he might shove you. He might tell you to fuck off and then shove you, Jersey style. And also, Lindsay, if you see the Beyonce move, run for the fucking hills.
Yeah, that's her shove.
What's the first physical move though?
I guess shove too. I've never been in a fight since I was a kid.
Would
I
you-
don't know.
Would
As
you
a-
punch or slap?
Well, girls are different because guys punch and shit, but girls are crazy. They'll
They
go
grab
for
you.
hair.
They
Yeah, I'd
grab
probably
you.
reach for hair first. Really, that's the first thing that I want to do.
You want to grab for hair?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
hair.
that's not cool.
No, it's not.
Where in the fight do you grab for hair, Michael?
I don't grab.
At what point?
all.
You don't grab at all?
You punch.
It's just punch.
Face and stomach.
Punch, face, and stomach. You work the
But
body.
not the crotch.
Go for the
It
eyes.
depends how pissed I am.
You work the
But
body.
When you start getting dirty,
You
then
could-
it's-
you could go for
Oh,
the crotch.
absolutely, yeah. Like
I
if I
don't
start
think-
losing.
I honestly don't think
absolutely, I
I've
shit.
ever been in an actual fight where I tried to hit someone in the stomach. It was-
Survival of the fittest.
It's all just knockout blows. I
No,
honestly,
no way.
I really don't ever remember trying to punch someone in the
that
stomach.
hurts your hand way more, and two, it fatigues them. You can hit them in the
really?
stomach and then punch them in the face.
But your stomach's
too.
all cushion. Your face has bones and shit. Wouldn't
but
that
you
hurt
can
more?
get-
Yeah, but
No,
you
I'm
can
saying
knock the
your
wind out of
fist.
someone.
Your fist hurts a lot less.
Yeah, you
when
can
you
break
punch
your
someone
hand
in the
and punch them
stomach,
in the face.
then you hit them in the face when you have a better shot.
Interesting.
Fights are
How
so
does that
funny.
less hurt your hand?
Hitting someone in the stomach than the face?
No, you're saying hit him in the stomach, then hit him in the face. You're still hitting him.
I mean,
You're
you
still
mean
hitting him in the
it's-
stomach
you
first,
hit him in
though.
the face once, as opposed to constantly.
So it's like one stomach, one face.
Most people are not taking a solid punch to the face.
I could take so many blows to the face. It's
Oh my
unbelievable.
God.
He
Let's
punched
role
himself
play.
in the
Role
face.
play.
Yeah,
Gus was there. He saw him. Michael
Yeah.
took his own fist.
Did you get in a lot of fights as a kid?
not really.
No.
Just more stupid shit and dumb stuff.
You ever
Like-
been in a fight, like a fight with another person?
Not really.
No. You ever been hit in the someone punched you in the face out of
Besides
anger?
you.
Like as hard as I can. I don't think so.
Just out of anger, like somebody punched you in the face out of anger. Has that ever
I
happened to
did
you?
punch him in the face.
She punched me in the face, but that wasn't
Did you?
anger.
It wasn't angry. It was a joke, but I overshot it, and he was in my passenger seat, so I ended up clocking him in the eye, and then I just turned
The
back to my
bully
steering
comes
wheel.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
maybe
It's
he
true.
didn't notice.
You get those familiar old feelings coming back.
Michael,
Yeah.
This feels
She
great.
loved
Let
it.
me tell you this.
Rage.
Are you a big Chris Brown fan?
Michael, you
Wow.
can
Not at
come
all.
talk to me about this if you want
Yeah.
to.
It's true.
You can come talk to me.
Gavin and I, it's funny, the other night we were talking about, Gavin and I were talking about fighting. I think we should.
I'm up for it. I'm ready.
And Jeff agreed to it. No hitting in the face or the dick.
No hitting in the
That's
face
it.
or the
Wait,
dick.
when do we agree to no hitting in the face?
I didn't agree. I just, if you want to.
So
that was for your
you guys
benefit.
Gonna box? I have boxing
No.
gloves.
You won't land a punch on this.
What's that?
His face.
What's that?
You won't be able to.
No, it
touch
wasn't boxing.
Gavin, you're not a fighter. You should go fighting.
That's why I said I wouldn't hit him in the face.
I'm nippy. I mean, I'm unhittable. I'm like,
You're nippy. What does it
You
mean?
Nippy,
are-
like it's cold in
Yeah,
here.
I know. That means it's cold.
God.
Jackass.
Nimbly,
I'm quick.
nimble.
fast.
Yeah.
It's all those crab sticks and appetizers.
Fights are the best though. I was in a pub when there's maybe 50 people in this outer room of a pub, and it was all getting a bit larry. People were like
Getting a bit what?
Larry,
God damn,
Harry,
dude.
Harry and Fairy. Is that what it was getting?
Figure it out from context. Go ahead, I'm with you.
And people were squaring up to each other, and I was like, this is going to get out of hand really fast. The shove went, the punch came back, and all of a sudden, it seemed that everyone in that area knew
Yeah.
one of the people. And I just, ducked and shot out, and I looked behind me. It was like people swimming. It was like front crawl. It was
Yep.
like everyone was just going, and I was like, oh my God, bottles flying everywhere. And about an hour later, I went to the toilet, because I needed to pee. And I walked in, and it looked like someone just popped in there. It was blood all up the floor and walls,
Yep.
to the point where, where's a clean piece of floor? And I was hopping into just bare patches and it was I don't know, pints of blood.
I like how you
All
didn't
over the place.
leave. This is an hour later. So an hour later, I had to take a piss.
I went to. I went
Waded
to.
through the
The
corpses.
police were all over that place. But yeah, there was it was on the sea. I don't know how blood got everywhere like that.
It came out of the body.
Yeah. They got punched in the nose enough. Remember, I went to London and I met with you. It wasn't the first time we met, but
We went to Leicester.
Yeah. and I stepped over a puddle of blood. I mean, there was a huge puddle of blood in the middle of the road.
Like you would have slipped in it. Oh, Christ.
It was pretty
Remember
serious.
That, remember that Leicester trip, right?
Yeah,
You gave a speech on Machinima.
that is correct.
What did you do at the end of your speech?
Oh, so listen. So I brought Jason over to this event, this Machinima event in Leicester, England.
You called it Leicester.
Leicester. Yeah, because it's spelled Leicester. And so we went there, and I flew fucking Jason, who plays Tucker, all the way over to the UK. There was a podium where we all sat at a table, like on a panel, and there was a podium at the end of the table. He was so uninterested in the panel that he actually sat behind the podium. He hid behind the podium the entire time. He did nothing. He did nothing. He just hid back there. And then the only contribution he made the entire panel was I stood up and said thanks to everybody for coming, and or was doing something at the end about, I don't know, maybe we had to make an announcement about some event later in the festival. And while I'm standing up, he unintentionally takes my chair and moves it away while I'm standing up.
Oh
and so
my
then
God.
I go to sit down.
Nice.
I sat down, and I'm like, this wood floor.
It's because this other guy had actually started talking at this point, so you were like, "I'll just quietly sit down." Because you all stood up, you're like, "I don't want to make a noise while he's talking."
That's what it was.
So now you interrupted his speech.
So
Fantastic.
he's like saying, "Oh, thanks for these guys coming," and it's like, "What?"
Was it like where his feet came up over the table, like that kind of deal?
Yep.
The ground shook, and I've never seen a whole room of people start laughing as quickly as that happened.
Yeah.
It was and the guy who was on the mic was just like, "Oh."
Oh my
You
god.
tried to sit down quietly so you didn't interrupt him, and you derailed him for about 2 minutes. I can't believe
Did Jason get a trophy for that?
Yeah, he should have.
Some
He should
sort?
have. It was
A
pretty
round of
goddamn funny.
applause.
it was a wooden floor as well that just echoed.
Oh God.
In the UK, there's pretty much cameras everywhere all the time.
Oh well,
It's good. I'm
that
all
makes
for
sense.
In fact, Ben was telling me about this movie. What's the movie that Ben likes so
Son
much?
of Rambo.
it. Terrible movie.
It's called Red Road or something like that. It's all about a person in the UK who runs the cameras, and she has a relationship with somebody
So it's like
via the
Sliver.
cameras.
Weird.
Yeah, but like official. Like
Okay.
Sliver's supposed to be creepy and weird. This just happens to be, the way things are in the UK. You don't feel constantly watched all
I
the
don't
time?
care about that. I feel safer.
No.
Really?
No
That's
way.
interesting.
Well,
This
it's like-
it's also
no.
annoying because then too, this guy is the guy that records everything 24/7, 365 because he's so used to it.
It's like Skynet. I don't want everything watching me all the time.
Wouldn't
No
you
way.
rather, if you were mugged in the street, wouldn't you rather it be on camera?
No,
No, it's embarrassing. Someone's gonna find that
Well, I
and make
don't
fun
care
of
I
me.
don't care
that,
about that.
but-
I just feel like it doesn't really lead to more arrests necessarily. Like it's not.
Doesn't
really
do
helpful.
shit.
Like normally the resolution.
the camera
crappy
doesn't
or-
stop me from getting mugged.
Well, actually, my friend Dan once got drunk and was riding his bicycle home, and he fell off right next to a car, and a policeman saw, and he was like, "You just scratched that car," because there's a big scrape along the side, and they reviewed the security footage to prove whether he did it, and he didn't, so he got off.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the security footage proves that he's
Yeah.
innocent of
He-
the scratching.
they-
Wow, that
He fell.
one unique
Yeah.
instance.
Maybe if your friend
Yeah, but
wasn't
it's
drunk
come-
and riding his
Andy,
bike.
like, you get to be proved innocent.
No
for a lot
way.
of things.
As long as you're innocent.
Yeah,
What if someone starts on you and you have to self-defense them and you injure them?
You self-defense them.
Self-defense.
How can you prove that you didn't start the fight?
in
It was on
America,
camera,
it's like I came at him, I beat his ass, and they're like, all right. Especially in Texas. Are you kidding me? Nobody gives a shit.
I think it makes sense.
A fight over there. You're like, oh my god, it's a fight. Call the news. It's alert. People just
Let him
fucking
keep
fight.
going. Let him keep going.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: as someone who has just come over here from the UK and you now work in this office and live in the US, are you offended that every time people get around you, they constantly practice their British accent, their shitty British
Right.
accents?
It's not practice.
I've been around you guys for many years, on and off. I'm used to it.
I mean, it's the first thing everybody does when you walk in the room. It's like, hello.
Yeah.
That's not annoying?
I don't give a shit. You know how every time I walk in the room, it's like, it's rage quit. Oh, it's rage quit. I don't give a fuck about him.
I can't help it because if I talk to someone with an accent, I adapt naturally. So I feel like they think
Yeah.
I'm making fun of them, but I do it, especially if it's a country accent.
Oh, I am
Now,
making fun of
I
them.
got used to it. Tune out. I don't listen to you guys.
Have you adopted a Texas accent at all? Have you picked
Me?
up Michael?
No.
Yeah.
Y'all,
No.
no one says y'all.
You don't have much of a Jersey accent, though.
Never
really.
say y'all ever. That's because I actively suppress it.
Do you really?
Yes.
God, I'd love to hear it.
He does it occasionally.
Before
yeah?
I knew what he looked like when I watched Rage Quit, I just imagined Joe Pesci from as the face to your voice.
It's not bad. You could be like a super young Joe Pesci. So what else do we need to talk about today?
What else is going on?
So we did some RTX stuff this last week.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
Let's talk about it. Sure. We're gearing up. Tickets went on sale a couple weeks ago.
Yes. And we're working on getting exhibitors, getting people there. Hopefully we'll have some announcements about stuff that will be there here pretty soon.
One of the big things we're doing right now is planning panels, and so we obviously have some, a lot of the panels already filled in, but we have some left. So if you have an idea for a panel, you can always contact Gus directly at his email address, and he'll be happy to respond.
Or better, you could email panels@rtxevent.com.
That'll also work.
Panels@rtxevent.com. What's that email address? It's panels@rtxevent.com.
In case you missed it.
The video that we shot at last year's RTX, which was the Zombie Horde immersion video, just went over 1 million views.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
Congrats.
Yeah, it was a good timing with getting the ticket sales and planning the events at RTX this year. It was like fun. That was a blast making that video, although it was very hot.
No one told me that there was going to be that helicopter with a camera on it for the aerial shots. That was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
That thing was really loud.
Yeah,
It was like a radio-controlled helicopter that had a camera mounted to it.
I didn't think you could fly those over people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone,
I wondered,
everyone,
like, how they mounted the camera.
they were so loud and like frightening. They're like, everyone, do not look up. You will not be decapitated. Don't ruin the shot. Because like everyone was like, oh shit, because it was like right above them. That thing was like feet above their heads.
I wouldn't have stood under that thing.
Only like 12 got hurt.
Yeah.
We only lost like 4 heads. It was a really low number.
For a zombie apocalypse, yeah, sure.
Who was the guy on that movie set who got decapitated by a chopper that went upside down?
That
Oh, that
was
on
the Twilight Zone movie.
God, what was that guy's name?
We talked about that on the podcast. didn't we?
It was him and 2 kids.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That's an
Very,
insurance claim.
very famous actor, I think.
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast, and I think I even linked the video.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. You can't see much. It's
That
just
happens
like,
a lot, though. My grandfather worked for Bell Helicopter, and he was flying out a couple that just got married to their honeymoon suite. And he said, duck when you leave so you don't, get your head cut off. Well, the groom apparently derped and didn't pay attention. So the bride got out fine, but right as the groom stepped out, he got decapitated. Oh. So,
How does that happen? I feel like the rotor tied before
higher
that
than
doesn't
that.
happen. It's like you, in order for that to happen, you have to be standing in the helicopter and like stand.
yeah,
up
like
at
at the
full
door,
height.
like
So
when you're
running
at the,
jump.
he's like, when you get out of the door, duck your head, and like, we'll help you move out. And he was like, "Rrrt," and yeah.
Wow.
Asshole.
But if you're that dumb,
Does that damage the blade? Are they like, fuck? Now we have to
Yeah,
we have
probably.
To repolish
It's
our
probably
blades?
not your first reaction.
Some guys that's been doing it for like 40 years, it's got to be his reaction.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, oh, that
fucking head, you goddamn propeller.
he nicked the blade again.
Fuck!
God damn! It's like on a lawnmower when you hit a rock and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You're gonna stop and check it, make sure everything's okay.
Not me.
There's one guy that's his reaction when he sees a head go
Yeah.
flying.
My reaction would be a lot like Gavin in a UK pub bathroom. Probably like, Jesus, where did all this come from? All this awful
Well,
blood.
you know where it came from that time.
I don't think you would. Like, you ever been in an accident, like a crazy accident like that? You don't know what's going on. Like, it takes your brain a couple seconds to catch up to what's taking place.
I get that. It'd catch up pretty quick if there was a headless body on the ground.
There's honestly a lot of that being punched in the face too. It's like the first time you're punched in the face, it's like you don't realize what has happened. Like,
I don't always need sometimes I just, like, if someone's going crazy, like screaming for their life, that'll do that to me, where I'm just like, I just can't figure out what's going on.
yeah, you
Yeah.
start working on instinct.
So,
I went to New Jersey with you once, Gus.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were in the airport and some woman had her massive suitcase on the escalator and she was riding up to the top of the
No, I
escalator?
don't
and then
remember this.
it got wedged in between, like as you step off, it got wedged, and she was like getting smushed against her case. And then, like, she just started going like, what? And then her husband was like backing up onto her, and they both like ended up like tipped up, and they were going crazy, like, oh my god, somebody help! And then all of a sudden, like, she just flopped off, and then stood up, and she was like,
I don't remember that at all.
You were there.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
and yeah, and she like, everyone in the airport was like, and then she was just like really embarrassed.
How do you walk away from that? Like, it's
She
no
was
big deal.
screaming at the top of her lungs. I thought someone was getting like sucked in or getting stabbed. She just got squashed against her suitcase and then it fell over. It's the most over-dramatic woman I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe you don't remember
I
that.
don't remember that. That's fucking funny though.
It was performance art.
You were buying donuts at the time. You were buying donuts.
Listen, if you get fucked up on an escalator, you're fucked. I mean, it's like those things just don't stop.
Yeah, but
you know?
there's a button on the top and the bottom.
Yeah, but you got to get to that button.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Or
you're
what if you're the one that's stuck and you can't reach it? You have to depend on someone else to get to that button.
Or
How do you
just
get
keep
stuck?
I
falling.
don't know how you get
Like, let's
stuck
say
in
your
there.
like shoelace or your sock or something.
Yeah.
You get
gets
stuck
Take your
as
shoe
you
off.
ride to the top.
No, but then when
How
you get
did
to
you
the
know?
top and the blade like goes under the thing.
Well, it would snap the shoelace, wouldn't it?
Right, or you take your shoe
Or
off.
like what if it's your pant leg? If you have a long pant. I mean, you could get caught and seriously fucked up in there.
We're once again to the portion of the podcast where we talk about
Everything's at morbid.
deaths.
I will say
Yeah.
this: if you get fucked up on an escalator, you're an asshole.
Nope.
If you don't
Like,
understand how to ride an
when
escalator,
I worked at
I
the
don't
tech
care.
support place.
Shit can go wrong.
One day,
Use the fucking stairs.
One day I was sent out to help someone who I don't. It's complicated, but I had to go help someone who was an elevator repairman because he could not get his computer to connect to the elevator to fix it. So I showed up to help him, and I'm just like talking, shooting the shit with him, and I'm like joking, like we're in this like elevator that's stuck between floors, and I'm like joking with him, like, haha, what if the elevator falls? He goes, oh, you don't ever have to worry about elevators. There's brakes, and the whole system's super safe. The thing you need to watch out for is escalators. And I said, really? He goes, I repair elevators and escalators all the time. He said, I will not ever step foot on a fucking escalator. And I said, why? And he goes, he said, you know those metal panels that you stand on when the escalator goes up? And I said, yeah. He goes, those are just super thin metal. He said, if I've seen women wearing high heels, it creates so much pressure that I've seen those plates snap and people just fall straight through into the gears and just get chewed up.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
And I was like, what? He goes, yeah. He said, don't ever get on an escalator. If you ever get on an escalator,
Jesus.
he said, if you ever have to get on an escalator, he showed me, like, grab onto both handrails, stand on the edge of like a few
Jesus
different places.
Christ.
And I was like, what? He goes, I'm dead serious.
Good.
Don't ever get on an escalator.
And make this noise the whole way up.
I'm doing the right thing.
Guys, I wish we're riding on an escalator with you. See if you take his advice, and you're like straddled over the whole
It's like, I
thing.
wonder if he was fucking with me. He was just trolling her, but he seems super dedicated to the.
You guys
to
never do
story.
the elf thing where you do the splits and then you ride up the escalator? I do
That's
that every
fun.
time I reach
I
an
love doing
escalator. Yeah.
No.
Really?
What I
safe.
did was
Yeah.
in our mall when we were asshole beatniks, we'd go on the side of the escalator and ride the side
Yeah,
of it up,
yeah, that
as
is fun.
high up as you go until you hit a wall, and then you'd have to drop and fall, or security came and threw you out of the mall.
There's a footage like in a mall in
We
Taiwan
did that all the
where a
time.
kid does that, and he gets to the top and he doesn't know what he's going to do, and he's probably like 40 feet above the ground at this point. And some guy runs out of a retail shop and catches this little like a 4-year-old kid.
Whoa.
Catches him when he falls.
He had commitment to hang on that
Yeah,
long.
I didn't go
Yeah.
40 feet.
I don't think he could. After a point, there was a point in a return when he couldn't do anything else. And like you know how at the top when it just like the
Yeah.
handrail goes down,
Yeah. You're like,
and he
oh.
just lost it there, and off he goes.
Holy crap.
I know that's. I know who you're talking about though, because I know that guy's brother, and his brother's the same way.
Really?
Yeah, won't ride an escalator and like talks about him all the time.
Yeah.
And there was remember the Infomart up in Dallas?
Yeah.
It was one of these really high tech like Knox, I guess, or it was like a.
It was like an incubator for .coms kind of.
Yeah.
Like offices and high speed data. And, stuff
And they
like
built it up in Dallas. And one of the cool things was they had see-through elevators and escalators, so you could see all the machinery running it. But then you realize what's underneath an escalator, and it's horrific.
It's just like blades and gears and.
Did you see any people
Chainsaws.
going through the gears and stuff?
No, I
It's a
didn't,
wood
but I would
chipper.
not have been surprised.
There
Yeah,
are some
he-
long escalators as well. Imagine like falling into like they go down like 5 stories. Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of the ones in the London Underground are
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's what I'm talking about. You wouldn't
Yeah.
want to fall into one of them.
Well, I see ones like in stadiums where they're showing there's always camera footage like at the bottom of the escalator, and it's something where the escalator. Imagine it's all those people coming down. That's a lot of weight, and then something goes wrong in the escalator, break, and it basically then just turns to a freeform conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Well, so it just goes like.
And people just like getting fired off the end of it.
Yeah.
I've never
It's,
seen that.
You never
it's
seen that?
pretty horrible.
There's some awesome videos on the internet of that.
Have you ever walked up an escalator that's not turned on? It feels weird.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does feel very
Why does it feel
strange.
so weird?
It enrages me when I go to the mall and it says out of order and they have
Rage
shit blocked
quit.
off. I'm just like, fuck that. I just go under it and walk behind it.
Temporarily
Well,
stairs.
It's because the amount of distance between the steps on an escalator is greater since you're not normally walking it. So I think that's why it feels weird
Yeah,
to,
just like-
to step up.
But they're still effective.
They are.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are still effective. They are
Sorry
still
for the
at the
convenience.
very base level a set of stairs.
It's still functional. Well, that's the other thing too. Is like you ever notice when you get to the airport and they have the moving walkways? I never understand why people stop on a moving.
I want to
I get
punch
so
them in
mad.
the fucking face. You run. You're like 10 times speed when you get to those walkways. If you briskly walk, you're like twice as fast. If you jog, you're like the fucking Flash on those things.
It's like in Mario Kart.
It's so much fun.
When you get to the arrow pads, you don't hit the brakes.
Right.
You don't let off the accelerator.
Right.
You keep holding it down.
And then that's like that one asshole will get on first, and then there's like 9 people behind them, and they're like
Yeah.
this with their bag, like
and then,
you
like, as-
shall not
As a
pass,
side
and they
effect,
can't
most
let
of
you
those moving
pass.
sidewalks have to have signs that are like stand to the right, walk to the left, stand to the right.
Yeah,
walk
but
to
the
left.
family with like 7 kids is blocking the entire
Don't get me
thing.
started on
So
kids. I'll fucking kick them. Shove them down.
It's true.
Hey, I have something I want to complain about since we're complaining about
Okay, let's
stuff.
complain.
Okay, I love my Xbox. I love it. Mm-hmm. You know that.
Did you say you love me?
I love some Xbox.
Yep.
I'm just making a funny way to say
Things
things.
are getting,
Shut up,
things are
Gavin.
getting Larry here.
that's a
We're gonna-
Texan way
we're all
to say
hilarious.
stuff. Love me some
Oh, I
that
see what you did.
Xbox.
why are they not selling, and why can I not find out a reason why they're not selling batteries for the controllers anymore? Why have they stopped doing
They
that?
don't?
They are, aren't they?
You tell me where I can go to buy batteries for the Xbox.
The
controller.
rechargeable.
Go to
Yes, they
GameStop.com. Right
What do
now.
you mean?
They
you,
suck.
You think they suck?
I've never had a battery live. You know, they'll be dead. With
That's
like,
called
You know,
batteries,
you can-
Gavin.
You can recharge them.
Batteries
Oh my god.
recharge, and then after a
just
while,
And they die.
They refuse.
they
to
only hold a
charge.
charge for so long. That's called a battery. Doesn't last forever. It lasts like a year or two. It's like, this battery only fucking lasts me like 18 months.
I'm not. You can always charge a battery.
Yeah.
It'll just drain really fast, but I can't even get mine to charge.
All right. Well, they're
Just
back
buy
in
a new
stock on
one.
Amazon now. They sell them in 2-packs,
Oh, nice.
but they were gone for a very long time.
They were,
They were
but I knew they came back.
Stockpiling them to sell double.
We had
It's
to, we
It's
had to
true.
buy them. We had to buy them for the red versus blue controllers upstairs. We had to buy all pink ones. It was the only ones we could find were on eBay.
I was told, I
saw
was
that.
told that the pink ones were purchased because they were cheaper.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Well,
they were like
technically,
$5 cheaper
technically
each.
cheaper only because the only way to get them before this, which Bernie's right, they did just re-release that. Like they were gone for like at least a year or two, is to buy the fucking charge kit.
Yes. Which has one.
Right, which is one. That's what it means by cheaper because you have to buy the charge
I
kit
see.
with the battery, and it's $20. So like I have like 4 of those cables that I don't need because I needed batteries after they stopped selling them, so I had to buy a fucking charge kit every time.
Or even like the charger where you click the batteries in and there's 2 bays to
Yeah.
put in.
Yeah.
And it comes with one.
That one comes with one. Yeah, yeah, it's like a tower.
Because it comes with one because it assumes you already have one. No, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I guess it's like you're buying a charger.
Well, the actual
Build up a
controllers
battery.
only come with one with AA, like AA batteries.
Yeah, but
so
they're not
why would you already
rechargeable.
have one?
Maybe you bought a wireless. No,
Maybe
no,
you-
you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
So I have another problem too. I pre-ordered Mass Effect 3. Anybody can play Mass Effect 3 this week?
Yeah, I just picked it up.
that
This
I
week.
guy-
guess probably.
Are you a Mass Effect fan?
Would be playing it right now if I wasn't in here.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I don't want to hold you back.
Well, you are.
No, but you played Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2?
I played 2. I played 1. I wasn't a fan of the combat system, so I never beat it. But I 1002. I played the whole game. I didn't play the DLC, but I played the entire 2.
What didn't you like in the combat system in 1?
It was too much. There was too much bullshit going on. It
There was
too
no ammo.
complicated.
It was all
too
heat. It
complicated.
was all heat based.
It was like it was way too much like Coder. Like if you
Nice
didn't,
Old Republic for the uninitiated.
yes, sorry, if you did not upgrade your character right, you're fucked. Like you ruin your entire game.
It's like real life.
it's like, but
If
it's
you
like.
didn't upgrade your skills appropriately, you're fucked.
But life, you can actually learn as you go. This games like that, it's like you start the game and you have to build your character right at the beginning. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have any like guide or like any sort of like handbook that you're using to like help you, you're just like
That's why
I
we're
don't
studying
know.
Skyrim before we
And-
started.
I had no problem.
You just like pick a
I
bunch
don't
of
know
stuff.
what he's talking about.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I also played the game 3 times. They had an achievement. I had to get 1,000 points in that one, and I got 100% of Mass Effect 2. I don't think Mass Effect had any DLC, but Mass Effect 2 had a bunch of DLC.
Mass Effect had DLC.
The original Mass Effect?
Mass Effect it had an expansion pack. It's like 1,600 points. It was like a 15-hour friggin' expansion.
What was it? Do you
It's
remember?
called like Bring Down the Sky or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bring Down the Sky. Was that Mass Effect or Mass Effect 2?
It was Mass Effect 1.
Okay, that's good memory. Yeah, you're right. So, but I have 100% in all the achievements in all the Mass Effect games. And Mass Effect 2 had some of the best DLC of any title ever.
Some great DLC.
The really weird thing was there's a major character in the Mass Effect universe that they handled in DLC, which I couldn't believe that they did that. I mean, that was
talking about?
talking about the Shadow Broker.
Oh.
That was a character, a side character they set up in the original Mass Effect, and then carried through to Mass Effect 2. And I was positive as the Shadow Broker was growing in significance, they were going to handle that character in Mass Effect 3, but they didn't. They put them in the DLC. I thought that was an interesting choice. Didn't you think so? I mean, am I off base in thinking the Shadow Broker was big?
I mean, I remembered it. I don't know if I would say it was a major character, but it's definitely.
That's
a
interesting.
big
How do you know
character.
it's a major character?
Well, they hinted. First of all, they hinted at him in the first Mass Effect. There was one of those little mole characters, Volus. Is that what they're called?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one in the Citadel that was a agent of the Shadow Broker, and people talk about the Shadow Broker, this person who would trade information behind the scenes, and it kind of turned out to be like a Dread Pirate Roberts thing, where it was a title, the Shadow Broker, and
Yeah.
like changed people.
Although I don't know anything about Mass Effect, I'm very glad you just referenced Princess Bride.
Ah.
Thank you.
Man, I just saw Moneyball and Robin Wright's in Moneyball.
Really?
And how long has it been since Princess Bride?
Like 25 years, maybe.
Yeah, was it in the 80s?
That's
Or-
interesting. So they had Moneyball, and it's Brad Pitt's Robin Wright plays his ex-wife, and that's a really tense scene when he goes to see the ex-wife and the new husband. But then they do flashbacks all the time with Brad Pitt's character, and the girl who plays the young Robin Wright is the girl from 5 Second Films, the blonde girl from
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't make that
Cool.
connection.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see her, and she's like,
Was she getting more than 5 seconds of screen time?
she did. I'm not sure if she did. I think maybe she got exactly 5 seconds, so it fit in well. But anyway, so I'm going to be playing Mass Effect 3 because I ordered it and it's coming, and I'm going to be playing. I'm sure most people by the time they've heard this are probably halfway through the game at this
I'm
point.
excited to play that.
But I got a pre-order bonus. I got some kind of Argus rifle with it. So now in my family where we have multiple gamers, who the fuck do I give the pre-order bonus to?
Right.
Who do I do that?
I don't know. Whoever plays it the most.
Yeah.
Raffle it.
So is that locked to the character and not the Xbox?
I believe it's locked to the Xbox, but
I can't get my head around
So
this stuff
have you?
anymore. It's too much.
You haven't started Mass Effect 3 yet, have you?
no.
Do you have your Mass Effect saves in the cloud?
I think so.
You need to get them back onto your box.
Why?
Why?
There's an issue where if you took your Mass Effect 2 save, moved it to the cloud, and then play it on a console other than where it originated,
God.
that it doesn't import the hooks.
Nice.
That's terrible.
Like the save is bound
Love
So
the
what's the
cloud.
point?
with the 360.
It's a broken
So
system.
I guess they
No,
made
no,
it,
no.
They
I
made
don't
it
care
before
about
the
that.
cloud existed, so I guess there's some issue with it.
How can you say it's a broken system? The cloud saving is the best thing, and the cloud gamer tags is the best
It's
thing that's happened to
awesome.
the
Love it.
Xbox.
No, it's not.
No way.
You're insane.
No,
You're
it's not.
both insane.
I don't trust it.
It's
Well,
awesome.
that's your problem.
I know.
You don't
That's what I'm
trust it.
saying.
That's
I
not a
don't-
reason
I
to
don't
say it's
wanna put
broken
anything
that
on
you
it.
don't
I didn't
trust
say it was broken. He did.
You
Jesus.
you're sitting there shaking your head like, nope, 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 nope.
You
I
got that
won't use
sour
it.
look
That's
on
all
your
I'm
face.
saying. I won't use it.
I lost all my Halo anniversary progress to that.
If you shove me, I'll take a step towards you right now, just so you know that. I'm just going to tell you that.
Be my fucking
Don't
guest.
shove. Don't
Be
shove.
my guest.
Because we will go down a road you don't want to go down.
kiss.
This
Get
is
ready
my
to
guess.
rumble.
So far I've lost progress, and also I sometimes quickly stop playing on one box and resume on another one, like immediately. And I've got to wait for the saves to upload.
No, you don't. See,
Yeah, I
we
do.
were talking about this. We don't know how that happens, but
I played a few saves on Skyrim, and when I signed in on the other Xbox, it said your cloud saves haven't yet synced. You may lose progress by playing this save. And I was like, oh. So I went back to the other Xbox, and there's a list of all my saves that I just made, and it said pending by all of them, and then it goes synced, and it just goes on this.
so
I'm
we
waiting for it.
talked about this before. Where is that list where it shows you what's pending?
It's in the network, it's in the settings by memory and stuff, storage.
So if you go to like where your save games are stored on your hard
It's
drive,
just it's not in the cloud until like it's on the drive, and then it uploads to the cloud, and then downloads it again. It's not like instantly in the cloud at all times.
That makes total sense to me.
Yeah, but it's not fast enough.
well,
That's
had
your internet that sucks.
you had one instance where it wasn't fast enough. Like when you played
Of course, I
Skyrim.
lose all my Halo anniversary progress.
I don't think that's possible.
It did. Because I started playing on my save from the cloud before it actually synced from the other Xbox, which meant it
So
didn't
after
remember.
it warned you,
You may lose progress.
I didn't see the warning that time, actually.
yeah, sure.
So-
So it's your own fucking fault, and you're mad at the
So
system.
now I've played them more. on
Gavin
Legendary.
doesn't know how to read, Gus. Be nice.
Listen though, I mean, this is designed finally for people who have multiple Xboxes
Yeah.
in multiple locations.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the cloud isn't really a broken system, but all the DRM across like where you have to have stuff it depends on the game. It depends on the character or the Xbox. It's mental. It's hard to keep up with.
It stinks. I got to say, for someone who buys games and plays them, and multiple people in my house play them, and we have more than one Xbox, it's a big pain in the ass because if I use DLC codes are now for everything. Like you buy a retail game, it comes with DLC codes for even multiplayer.
Right.
They're doing that a lot now. And so it's like, then who do I unlock it for? And do I have to buy 4 copies of the game if 4 people in my house play it? I mean, is that where we are now, where it's like it's in my house?
Or it's like, yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Did you play, Michael? Did you play any of the Saints Row DLC?
Yeah, I finished it.
Yeah.
I'm done with
Yeah.
Saints Row.
I'm playing Gangsters in Space right now.
That's pretty fun.
Is it?
It's what's nice about that is you never have to drive like the whole time, except for like
Oh,
two
yeah.
missions.
Yeah, because the movie stars driving, right?
Like they drive for you the entire time.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun.
I got that. I've been playing that, and also the Super Genki Bowl one.
Yeah, they're
But
both
I was never a big fan of the Genki Bowl in the game, so
That's one of my favorite activities.
they're both
Genki Bowl?
they're both super short. I mean, not
I don't
super
eat Genki
short.
Bowl.
The Genki Bowl is only like 3 or 4 activities,
Yeah.
but the Gangsters in Space is like actual missions and stuff. But they're pretty fun. What sucks about Gangsters in Space is if you miss achievements, you're fucked. You can't go back and redo it.
In which one?
In Gangsters in Space in Saints Row 3, the DLC,
like you're locked off from that area.
you
once
have
complete it?
like it's done. Like you can't go back. So like you have to make a save or something before you start playing to make sure you get everything.
Interesting. You can't replay it.
You can't fucking replay it. I mean, like even if you delete the DLC and re-download it, like the missions are
You
completed.
can start a new character.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. You can start your character if you want to play the whole thing over again, but if you want to use it on your character, you have to reload a save. So, like, when I played it, there's collectibles. There's super easy collectibles. There's only 6 of them, and they're in, like, really obvious spots. But if you walk past one, like, you have to play the entire DLC
Yeah,
over
I got
again,
that
get them
achievement.
all.
I wasn't even looking for them. I didn't know it was. I was like, oh, look.
Yeah, there's just 2 of those clapboards in each behind-the-scenes area. But if you miss any of those achievements, you're screwed. You have to play the whole DLC over again just
But
to get
Michael
up to
avoids
it.
that by saving before everything. We're playing Skyrim, and he'll save before every single lockpick, just in case we fuck it up or we break one lockpick. He's like, nope, going back, starting over.
I do the same thing, man.
I was doing that too, and then until I realized that was the cause of my slowdown in
Oh
saving.
yeah,
and
Carrie
getting
was
through
telling me
doors.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I had so many.
Right, well, I
saves
delete
that,
all my
like-
stuff, though.
Yeah,
I
but-
only use the one save, really.
Yeah, I had so many saves that going through a door would take minutes.
It still takes a while.
Yeah, but what I deleted, but once you experience how long it takes with a bunch of saves,
True.
then it's like, oh,
True.
this is so
I
fast.
never got that far.
I'm never, never going back.
The other thing I'll say is, like, I was playing Skyrim, like, right around when I got my new 60-inch TV, and I have my Xbox hooked up on 720 on components so I can capture. But, like, when Mike was here, he wanted to watch it on 1080, so he swapped it, and now I'm pissed because it looks so much better. So, like, I don't want to switch it back. So now, like, if I have to capture, I have to, like, go, I got to capture and change all my shit and, like, plug it back in. But it looks fantastic on 1080p.
How do you survive?
I don't know.
It made
One
me
day at a
sick
time.
First.
One day at a time.
Do you think infinite saves in a game makes it too easy?
I think almost
like save at any point.
Like dying in Skyrim. Oh, I'll just reload.
Yeah,
That
Sky,
doesn't
it
even
is an
count.
incredibly
Yeah.
easy game. You can't not beat Skyrim. Like, you put it on the easiest setting, and you can save it as much as you want. And I believe the enemies scale to your level, right?
Not all of them. Like,
So
I
it's
know
like-
when I was in low level, I ran into a giant.
mean-
He fucked me up.
Shy
Never
of, like,
shit fucked by a
saying,
giant
you know,
too.
getting 1,000 gamer score, like 99% of games today, like, it's impossible to, like, I just can't beat it. Like, you have to be someone that can't play video games. Games are just way easier now.
Well, yeah, it's a level of dedication.
They're
though, too, to
remarkably
it.
easier. Well, it's more like beating the game is simple. It's
Yes.
like completing it is the challenge now.
Yeah, I agree with
Seems
you.
like what
Like
it is.
100%ing all the
Yeah,
achievements. you mean?
yeah.
But there's no sense of satisfaction in complete the game achievement when it was just like, oh, it's inevitable.
I kind of agree with you. I don't like it when I play a game and half the achievements like beat this level, beat this level, beat this level, beat this level, because it's easy as shit.
Because you're gonna do it. It's inevitable.
Right, shy of a game like, again, the rare games like Ninja Gaiden 2, where it's like beating a level is like you want to tear your hair out because the game is so insanely difficult. Unless you see Monty play it on Master Ninja, and he's like half sleeping playing it, and I watched him beat that game on Master Ninja, and it was insane. Like, you get like 2 hits and you're dead. Like, you have like your life bar's like the size of your screen, and 2 hits and you're dead. And Monty's just like, shit, I got hit. I guess I'm gonna do it again. Like, I just watched him fight the final bosses, and he's just like, fuck, shit. Ah, damn it.
Sit up.
He's just like,
Time to do sit-ups.
yeah,
Loading screen.
yeah. That
But
dude's incredible.
I will say that Saints Row 3 was remarkably easier than Saints Row 2. There's these missions in the Saints Row franchise called Snatch, where you have to go around and pick up prostitutes, and then you get a car full of prostitutes and take them to a
They were
location.
hard. And drug trafficking was hard.
Listen, on Saints Row 2, I called that activity the get the fuck in the car mission, because you're just yelling at your TV, just get in the fucking car.
AI, it's a little better in Saints Row 3. It was worse than Saints Row 2, but it's still fucking terrible. Like, when the AI will not get in your vehicle. So you just like, you're like driving forward. You're like, get in. They start running towards you. So you start moving, but then
And
they
then
get
they
caught in the
stop
door and they
because they're far
stop,
away.
and you're driving away, and it's like, get the fuck in the car! Jesus!
I can't handle any game where I'm protecting AI. Dead Rising to me is the most stressful game on the planet.
Hey, you want to kill AI?
Yeah.
Dead Rising
Yeah.
is the worst.
You playing Dead Rising must be amazing, because you're supposed to pick up survivors and then guide them through a zombie apocalypse.
That's one of the most challenging things to do in Dead Rising. Dead Rising 2 is not bad at all. Dead Rising, the AI is like the worst, like
don't know how to
dumbest
do it.
AI ever.
I can't save.
They're panicked.
No, they're so bad. It's insane. It took me like 3 playthroughs to figure out how to save people when I first got Dead Rising, like 2006 or whatever.
Did you get 100% of those achievements? Okay, so there's a couple ones in there that are performance level achievements. There's one where you have to have 8 survivors behind you at once,
Frank the Pimp.
and then there's one where you have to have 8 women.
That's Frank the Pimp.
That's Frank the
That's
Pimp.
Tour Guide, I believe, is 8 survivors. But if you do 8 women, you get
No
both
way.
at the same
How
time.
do you do that?
Yeah.
There's
You-
like certain
you have
rescue
to plan
missions.
it.
You have to plan the shit out of it.
Which
Where,
means
like,
you got to carry
this
around
guy,
like
this
4 or
guy,
5
this guy,
people
this guy,
for like
this guy.
half the game.
I was mad
Yeah.
enough in Resident Evil 4 when I had to take care of fucking Ashley
Dude,
the
that's
entire
so
time.
easy.
No.
I'm fucking sick and
No.
tired of people bitching about it. Turn that fucking volume down, Gus, because I'm
do
sick
it,
and
yeah.
tired
She's so
about
annoying.
people bitching about Ashley. Ashley is like the smartest fucking AI character in like a game
so
ever.
stupid.
It's so easy. You tell her where to go. No, you walk into an area and you say, "Bitch, dumpster." She goes and hides in the dumpster. Guess what? No one can fuck with her in the dumpster. You kill everyone in the level. You come back and get her. It's so simple.
Dumpster.
Right? You know what's great too? When you hit the button,
Shove.
when you hit the button to call her out of the dumpster, you'll be like, "Follow me." And
They have a button to
follow
call.
me. Yeah.
I'll call you when I'm ready.
You have a bitch button. It's bitch wait and bitch let's go. So like if you say bitch dumpster, if you hit the dumpster button to follow you when you're standing next to it, it's so great because the animation is like boom, and her head just pops up like a gopher out of a hole, and the lid of the dumpster just goes flying in her head, and she just climbs on out.
It's like Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, but and especially Ashley, if you beat the game at a certain level on the PS2, you can unlock a knight's armor for her. So it's a giant suit of armor. And the enemies can't carry her in that because in Resident Evil 4, what happens is they actually they hit her and kill her and stuff, but they can actually just pick her up. And if they get to the end of the screen with her, to a zone out area, it's game over. They kidnap her and take her away, but they can't carry her in the suit of armor. So I played that on hard mode, and I'd put the bitch in the middle of town and then run in the bushes and hide. So all the guys would come out, try to pick her up. They can't carry her, so they end up falling over. I'd run out there and start stabbing everyone on the ground with my knife, so I didn't waste bullets, and then run away again when they started getting back up. And I must have spent a half an hour doing that on hard to save bullets, and it set up the whole game. So people saying that Ashley is a pain in the ass, fuck you. Ashley's fantastic.
I would argue that there's a smarter AI
Yeah.
in a game. What's the smartest AI that you've ever ran into?
I didn't say it was the smartest ever, but for the amount of people complain about her, it's nuts.
I gotta tell you that I would much rather play Left 4 Dead 2 on expert mode with the bots from the other survivors than people I know personally, because the people I know personally suck so bad, and the AI survivors are way better.
Bots are good at fighting. They suck as teammates. For me, anyway.
For helping you mean,
Yeah,
and stuff?
it always seems like
they
they
don't
always
cooperate.
leave your ass. They'll stand right next to you fighting.
'Cause you're
And
slowing
once
them
again,
down.
you're
Yep.
like, fucking pick me up! And they're just standing there fighting. I hate
Man.
that shit.
You know what we should try to do? We should try to play me, Mew, Michael, get a fourth, I don't know who, and we should try to record us playing. You want to play?
I'm right here.
We could do Left 4 Dead 2 on expert and try to finish.
Oh, that would be a disaster.
It would be eight. It's
We'll never beat a level.
I think it's 8 hours to finish one of those campaigns.
We won't beat a level.
At least at my level. If you have Andrew Panton,
we
he
do
just
that?
runs to the safe room and leaves you all behind, and then you win. It's great. But yeah, I would do it.
I'll do it.
So we went to go buy Left 4 Dead. He did a Left 4 Dead Rage Quit with AH_Mike the other week. Yep. And we couldn't. Left 4 Dead is not available in stores anymore.
Well,
Or
it's
Left
old as
I mean,
hell.
it's
and Left 4 Dead
available,
2.
but it's hard
They're
to
just-
find.
It's really old.
Still,
Are-
still,
can
I wouldn't expect
Can you
to.
download them on the 360?
Nope.
yet?
No.
Valve.
But that was a really weird problem for Left 4 Dead 2. I mean, that's a pretty popular
See,
game.
the
There
thing
was no
about Left
used
4
copies, and there was one used copy, but at a different store. We had to go to get it.
the argument of it's old, I guess, but Left 4 Dead is a super popular game, and it's the last one they made. So I'm still surprised they wouldn't have new or at least used copies stocked
What
of it.
is the reason that they can't do games on demand for a new game?
It's probably a contractual thing with the stores, or I mean, if I had to guess, in the instance of Valve, they have Steam, they have their own platform, so they might not be all that big into sharing revenue and signing up with Xbox Live for games on demand. Are there any Valve titles that are available games on
I
demand?
don't think so. Portal.
For whatever reasons,
it.
those deals are typically made with individual publishers. So, you'll notice all the Microsoft titles are on there. I think the biggest, earliest release ever for a game on demand title was Fable 2. That was very close to the release of Fable in retail stores. They did this really weird thing where they released it in chapters.
That
You remember
was
that?
stupid.
That was kind of dumb.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. That was kind of dumb, and it
You had
fucked.
some issues with that.
It fucked me up.
with
It did.
fonts on when you could download the next bit and stuff.
Yeah, it was weird.
It also didn't, because I didn't do it, but I knew someone that did. Didn't you have to you were mid game, you downloaded it when you got to a point in the game, it'd be okay, you finished the part that you bought, you got to buy the next part. You had to stop and wait in the game to download it, and you couldn't play or do anything until it was done.
But it was one of those weird pseudo downloads that you see on Xbox Live a lot, where it's oh, you have to download 1.2 gigs, and you're oh shit, and then it's blip, it's done. It's oh, well, I already obviously had this, I just unlocked it.
Oh,
you
is
know?
it really?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
usually
okay.
the way that worked. I mean, there were parts where you had to wait to download it, but
Is that to increase anticipation for the next part? You're yeah, I want to buy
I
it.
don't know what it
or-
was.
they never did it
I
again
think it was
after
more,
Fable 2.
I think it was more testing
It was
to
Fable 1, wasn't it?
No,
No, it's Fable
that was
2.
Two?
Yeah.
Is it the same price for each thing? So I guess more,
no, you're
more
right.
revenue?
I
Yeah.
think it was more, maybe it was like more of it's not a demo version, but you could buy part of the game. So like I only spent $5, so if I don't like the game,
Or like $20.
I don't
yeah.
have to play it.
Okay.
Whereas like you get to the point where it's like, okay, at this point, do you want to buy the game or not, and pay like the other half or something like that. But it was
That's
really
right.
weird.
So it's like a test. Kind
yeah,
of.
and
And,
they never did it
I've
again.
never seen
No,
anything
they never
since
did it
then.
again. Now it's just games on demand. You
And
just
Games on
download it.
Demand is incredible. I wish everything was available Games on Demand.
So do I.
Every single thing.
I'd happily pay the exact same price if it meant that the game developers got more money by not going through a store. I hope they will do that one day.
I'm not really concerned about that. I mean, I just like the convenience of it. I mean, however people make money is up to them, but I just like, I download it and it's on my console. And then it's like, I don't like suddenly go, oh, I want to play Fallout 3. And then like 5 minutes later go, oh, now I want to play Crackdown 2. It's like, I can kind of plan what I'm going to be playing,
Yeah.
I tend to play games for a week in a row.
Yeah, it was the other day before I started playing the DLC for Saints Row the Third. I was sitting on my couch and I was really lazy again. The whole Xbox disc changer thing. Like I didn't want to get up, and there was no game in my Xbox tray, and I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "Okay, let's look at what I've downloaded." Like I didn't have Fallout 3 and I didn't have Fallout New Vegas, and those are the two I wanted to play at the time. So I was like, I could get up and put Saints Row the Third in and play the DLC, or I could take a nap. So I just fell asleep.
And downloaded.
Nice.
No, I just went to sleep. I didn't do anything else. Since there was no Fallout and I didn't have Saints Row in the game, in the console, I just went to sleep. That was my solution.
I don't think they plan for that in their algorithm at all. Like, will the user just fall asleep at some point in time?
We should wrap up.
But let me ask you one last question. So we're talking about achievements. This is relevant. First of all, Saints Row does something that's really awesome, which I wish everyone would do, which is they give you tracking of what your achievements are. Like you're at 38 of 50 on this particular challenge.
That's great.
Well, yes and no.
yes and no.
They track your challenges, not your achievements.
That is correct. It's
usually-
good though. They track most of the stuff I was counting.
Most of the stuff that's important.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have that. And the other thing they did is they have a ton of collectibles because it's one of those open world Grand Theft Auto Crackdown type games. And they let you buy at a certain level the collectibles show up on the map.
Yep.
Which, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, at some point you're going to go out and search for these things. You still can't exactly find exactly where they are. You have to look for them and search them down. But you're not hunting through like what's the equivalent of like 80 square
It's
mile
remarkably
area.
easier.
Yeah.
It was like perfect example. I just
Assassin's
finished
Creed, yeah.
Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yeah.
And there's 100 memory fragments like throughout the entire game, and at 50 you get a map automatically that puts the other 50 on your map.
Yeah.
So like the first 50 is all you have to find. Like we just played the game. I beat the game. I had 47. So then I went into like the stats, and what it does is it tells you how many fragments you have in each section of like Constantinople.
Yeah.
So it was like one section. It's like you have 2 out of 11. I'm like, well, fuck, I'll just walk over there. So I walked over there, looked around for like a couple minutes, and I found 3 of them. Then I got the map.
No, I'm
So then it was
pissed
just
about
like-
that map.
Yeah, she was pissed because that was like her only useful
That's my job.
was to
I'd
point out the
point.
memory fragments along the way. So she like worked her ass off for 47. I seriously got the other 50 probably about an hour and a half.
No, it
I was
makes
just
sense,
like,
though.
But
But
it was
really-
great. Way better. Machine's way better than her.
But
been
when you're going to
replaced.
get that achievement, those collectible achievements anyway, don't you always end up looking up a map online?
Yeah,
Because
no, it's way easier.
There's-
There's some great maps on Achievement
Yeah,
Hunter.com.
achievementhunter.com. Check it out.
Who has ever just found like all the pigeons in GTA?
Found all the pigeons.
No
Yeah.
way. No
Dude.
way.
I'm never doing that again.
What? So hunting pigeons?
200 pigeons.
Oh, is it 200?
200 pigeons.
I got all the pigeons in GTA. I don't have some of those multiplayer achievements because once again, GTA doesn't feel like there's a Good Night, Mr. Petrov or something like that.
I perfected single player.
Yes.
And multiplayer was like, I don't give
Ah,
a shit.
yeah, fuck that. There was one weirdly weird achievement, Good
Yeah.
Night, Mr. Something, where you had to win first in every,
Every
race with
and
every
every
car.
type, with every car,
Yeah.
something stupid. Like I wasn't even sure of what you needed to do, let alone put the 40 days into playing multiplayer just to get it.
And then there were
Hate
those.
multiplayer
There were those. I
achievements.
forgot there were those timed missions you did in multiplayer. Like there's one you had to go into a ship and you had to get it, but they didn't tell you what the times were.
Right,
You
the
just-
co-op missions.
Yeah, the co-op
You
missions.
had to like beat them in X amount of time,
That made you want to kill people like you played with.
like your co-op partner.
Okay, where are we going to lunch?
I don't know. I'm starving though.
I am
Lindsay can't go to
starving.
lunch. She needs to edit the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta work.
Lindsay, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for
And
having me.
thank you for not getting in a situation that would cause Michael to shove somebody.
No,
That was good. I'm glad you didn't shove anybody, Michael.
Not yet.
And thank you for coming back on the podcast
Oh, I see.
and coming in and being mad initially, and then turning out to be just kind of okay.
It's still there. It's just on the surface, under the surface.
Such a nice guy.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll take what we can get.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
We're just happy to have you.
Bye.
Bye.